students. In today's session, I am going to discuss about basic terms and concepts to be used in economics. So far, we have covered an introduction about economics, and I hope you are all able to make your understand to develop your interest in the subject of economics. Before I am going to start with next chapter, students, I would like to discuss with you about your pattern of question paper as you are all going to appear for first time. Students, your total marks paper will be for 80 marks, right? And we will have two sections. Section A is of 40 marks and section B is also of 40 marks, and duration of time is 2 hours. You are going to complete your paper within 2 hours, right? Students, let me tell you, economics is a lengthy subject. Okay, you need to give quality as well as quantity. Now, which type of questions we are going to have in section A and section B? In section A, it's a compulsory part, no choice. We are going to have 40 marks and there will be 4 questions. Question number 1, 2, 3 and 4, and each will be of 10 marks. Each question is of 10 marks, but again it is going to be divided into 5 short questions. It means I will have A, B, C, D, E, 5 questions for question number 1, and each question will be carrying weightage of 2 marks. So 5 into 2, it's going to be 10 marks. So like this question number 2, 3 and 4, they can be a definitional based questions, differences with example, meaning, like this type of questions can be there in section A. You will not have any choice. I may ask you true, false, there may be MCQs, and you are going to write down a whatever question is there in detail as per marks, 2 marks for each question. So like this, if I am going to calculate in section A, in total I will have to appear for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 into 4 means in total I will have 20 questions to be done in section A. How many questions I have to do? 20 questions in section A. And as you have seen, I have written a time over here that it's a time of 2 hours. It means section A has to be completed within 1 hour, that is a 60 minute, and section B is also here to be completed in 1 hour, that is 60 minute. So if we are going to work on time management, in 1 hour I am going to complete my 4 questions. 4 questions means for each question you are going to give 15 minutes, not more than that. One question who is having 5 short questions, you are supposed to complete them in section A within 15 minutes. Whether it is in section A or it is section B, each question will get a weightage of 10 marks. In section A, 4 questions with no choice. You have to complete within 1 hour, and each question you are supposed to give 15 minutes, not more than that, right? And now there comes about section B. Section B, out of 6 questions, out of 6, again it is of 40 marks, and out of 6 you are supposed to do any 4. And what type of questions you will have? Like I am writing question 5, right? So this question itself will have 2 parts, A and B. Question number 6, A and B. Question number 7, A and B. Like this, one question will be having 2 parts, and you are supposed to complete you are supposed to write a complete question. You are not supposed to do that one part you have attempted from question 5 and one part you are going to have from question number 6. No, if you have decided to attempt question number 5, so you are here to go for A and B both. And this in section B, what is the weightage of marks? Section B, question number 5, part A will have 5 marks and part B will have 5 marks. So it is going to be 2 into 5, 10 marks. Like in section A, each question was further divided into 5 subparts, and in section B, we are going to have 2 parts for each question, and each part is going to be for 5 marks, right? So in this way, out of 6 questions, you have to attempt for four questions only. You have a choice that out of 6 you will attempt only 4 questions, but time limit again is here for 1 hour only. 1 hour means 4 questions. 4 questions means for each question we are here to give 15 minutes only. So like this you are here to practice your returns. You have to make up your speed and you have to practice as per the given time distribution, right? So in 2-mark question, it's not that you have written a 1-word answer. No, it's not an objective type. It's a descriptive subject. So you need to explain with example. You need to make use of proper basic and key terms. Is that clear? And because of the, keeping in mind the importance of these keywords, today I have picked up the chapter basic concepts to be used and what is their meaning in economics and how to use them. So in continuation, students, today I have picked up the term goods. What is this good, right? So in terms of the first thing, which is a very common term, right? Goods. But the things, the terms which you are using in your daily life, how are we going to understand them economically in economic language? Today we are going to study that only. So goods. What is a good? You saying things which are to be consumed. Okay, I said right, all right, no, nothing is wrong over here. But if I am going to give you an example, okay, let's take an example of air. At present, there are 2 types of air. The one which you are going to get from your fan and the other one which is to be called as a natural air. So you, in your knowledge, both are goods, right? But in my knowledge, one is not a good and the other is a good. What is this other type of a good is here? You know, as per your knowledge, I told you that in economics, we study only those things which are rewarded. We have to earn everything. There is an economic transaction, right? So the 2 type of air which I have just discussed about with you, one was a natural air and the other one was a paid air. One was what? A natural air and the other one was a paid air. Paid air means you were here to pay an electricity bill for this type of air which you are going to get from your cooler or from your fan. So students, in economics, we are not going to study about that type of nature which is natural in nature, okay, which we are going to get from nature. Which type of air we will discuss? We will discuss about that type of air for which we have paid. So, but useful, if I am going to see utility, utility is again a new term over here. So I am telling you utility means here for you at present its usefulness. So usefulness, the benefit of air is here. Both the airs are beneficial for you, but one for 1 year it is being exchange taken place, but for other type of air no exchange has taken place. So on the basis of this, if I am here to define the term good, it must have 2 components. What are those 2 components? The first thing, anything which has got value in use plus value in exchange. It is must to have a presence of both the things. If one is absent, it is not to be taken as a good in economics. Just now I am going to quote that example again. The first air, natural air, what it was having? It was having a value in use, but it was not having value in exchange. So that is not to be studied in a subject of economics. And the other air which I was going to get from fan, it was having value in use plus it was having value in exchange also. So that air is to be studied as a subject matter of economics, right? So on the basis of this, we are saying the things which has got value in use plus value in exchange, it is to be called as a good. And the thing which is has got just a value in use but not value in exchange, that is not to be studied as a good in economics, because they will be studied as a free goods, and whatever is free given to us, we are not going to study in economics. We know that economics is here to study only about economic transactions. So today we have just discussed about the meaning of goods which are to be studied in economics. On the basis of that, we have seen that one is a free good which is to be called as a non-economic good also, and the other is a economic good. Why it is to be called as an economic good? Because it has got both the things, value in use plus value in exchange. And in economics, we study only about the behavior, about the examples of economic good. We don't study anything which is being given to us by nature free of cost, or which is to be called as a free good.